Are you pissed off that your bank is barely paying you enough interest to afford a McChicken by the end of the year? But the truth is, it's not just about savings. It's about using the right accounts to build your wealth, whether it's for yourself or as an employee or as somebody who owns their own business or planning for your kids' future. We're going to go over several accounts that you could be using to build your wealth today. And while you might not want to get into all of them, investing into just 2 of them is going to put you in a far better position than the average person. I'm Afro Senpai, and I'm interested in all things related to the average person like you and me building their wealth. Let's go. Sometimes every single market is crap, so having your money in a liquid, high-yield savings account is the best spot to have some of your wealth until the market you're interested in investing in is towards the end of its bear market. We've also talked about emergency funds being in high-yield savings account. Of course, we want to make sure that the yield that we're getting is above inflation. Additionally, I like to have 1 or 2 of my emergency funds in a brokerage account because the market is going to appreciate faster than any high yield savings account that I can find. In addition to having a high yield savings account for emergency funds, I'm also having a high yield savings account that goes to fund future big investments, such as starting a business or a rental property. I've created multiple high yield savings accounts with Ally Bank, which allows me to have multiple accounts under one login, and I adjust the nickname of the account so I know what I'm funding. These basic accounts won't blow-up-shuate your money, but it does keep you above inflation, and it also gives you peace of mind when people are panic selling out of assets you love. You can buy in the dip. Next is a brokerage account, and a brokerage account allows you to invest in stocks or groups of stocks called exchange traded funds. Like I said earlier, brokerage accounts offers better return on your investment than a high yield savings account if you're investing in something like a market fund, such as VOO. And if you happen to be in a platform that doesn't allow for fractional shares and you don't have hundreds of dollars, then look to investing in SPLG. It does the same thing that VOO does. It just costs less per share. That doesn't mean the value of the funds are different. Both of them are index funds, meaning they just copy what the S&P is doing. Unlike some of the other accounts that we'll talk about today, brokerage accounts don't have a contribution limit, and you can start with just a few bucks. If you want to start a brokerage account with Robinhood, which in my opinion has the best user interface, check out my link that's popping up for you right now. It's also in the description. When you use my link and deposit money and make your first trade, both get a free stock. Now, for full transparency, when you get your free stock, there is a holding period for 1 to 2 weeks where you can't sell the free stock they give you, but any stock or ETF you buy with your own money, you can sell at your leisure. Some people might not like that holding period, but I strongly recommend claiming the free stock and just watch it go up and down so you can understand that this is what stocks do. Get comfortable seeing price increases and price decreases, and then use your own money to make your first official trade. The number one reason people lose money in the stock market is they see the price go down $2, $5, $10. They think the world is ending, and then they sell. And then the next day, guess what happens? The price blow-up-shuates, and then they hate themselves. Just relax. Investing is boring. Just watch it do its thing before you start investing on your own. The downside to brokerage accounts is they do not offer as many tax advantages as all the other accounts that we're going to talk about. If you want me to make a video about tax strategy within a brokerage account, let me know in the comments. Now, if you're employed or self-employed, we're talking about the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is a retirement account specifically using money that has already been taxed. This means that when you go to withdraw money in retirement, it cannot be taxed again. So that's tax-free growth. In order to contribute, you will have to have earned income throughout the year, but you can Google or ChatGPT Requirements for starting a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA also has contribution limits, so make sure you're checking at the beginning of each year. If you do go over the contribution limits for the year, there are penalties that you have to pay. But if anybody has gone over their Roth IRA contribution limits, let me know in the comments. I've been crunching the numbers and the penalty is not that steep if I can get a lot more money growing tax-free. You can also invest in digital assets within a Roth IRA. I use altoira.com. I also know that iTrust Capital is available. Next, we have the 401k and 403b. Some employers still offer this, and some employers even match your contribution or at least contribute a small percentage based off of what you put in. The difference between a 401k 403b and a Roth IRA is the fact that in a 401k 403b, you're using pre-tax dollars. So think about your gross income. A 401k 403b will siphon money away from that gross income, lowering your taxable income and then investing that money for you. So imagine being in a particular tax bracket and then you route money into a 401k 403b, thus lowering your taxable income, making it look like you earn less on paper to the IRS, putting you in a lower tax bracket. So what sort of tax implications are happening if you're taking money out before it's actually taxed? That means that when you go to withdraw in retirement, they are going to be taking taxes out. And here's the kicker. Let's say you don't even want to use that money because you have other accounts that you want to utilize first. The government has figured out a way to get around that. It's called required minimum distributions. I believe once you're 72, you have to start doing required minimum distributions because the government wants their share. Now, let's say your employer starts one of these accounts for you, but then you leave the job. What you want to do, instead of them controlling the investment until you're ready to withdraw the money, you want to do a traditional IRA rollover. I personally had money that I didn't even know my employer started for me. And when I checked on my state's website, I saw these other two accounts and I said, hold up, let me transfer that money into something I'm familiar with. So I transferred that money over to Vanguard so I could invest in the stocks that I wanted to. Typically, when you're at an employer, they're going to give you a basket of funds to invest in. And we know that individual stocks fluctuate faster than actual funds, but funds we know to be safer. And so that's probably why they do that. Similar to a Roth, 401k, 403bs also have a contribution limit. So make sure you check what they are at the beginning of the year and adjust your monthly contributions accordingly. You do not want to have your old employer send you a check and then you deposit that check, because the government might think that that is a withdrawal or a distribution from your account. And then you might get hit with penalties or fees if you're not in retirement age. So just transfer, don't touch the money yourself, and you should be good to go. 401ks tend to be typically for regular employees and 403bs are typically for government workers. So as a high school math teacher, I had a 403b with my old district, but my new district does not offer a 403b. That's when a deferred compensation plan comes into play. And just recently, the deferred compensation plan offered a Roth version. So I stopped funding the traditional deferred compensation plan where it's using pre-tax dollars and shifted all that money over into the post-tax dollars, because as an American, I want to be paying as little taxes as possible. Something that's becoming more popular is a Roth 401k. So it serves like a Roth IRA, meaning that you're using post-tax dollars, money that has already been taxed, but it has a higher contribution limit. If you have access to something like this, I would utilize that account all day. A triple tax savings account is the HSA, Health Savings Account. If your employer offers healthcare and your employer offers a high deductible plan, I strongly recommend researching this. When you have a high deductible plan, you're eligible for a health savings account. The three main benefits to an HSA is that your contributions are taken out pre-tax, lowering your taxable income. The money grows tax-free, and you can withdraw tax-free if you have a qualified medical event. Your checkups, your vision, your dental, all can qualify. And the icing on top is that once you turn 65, You don't have to have a medical reason to take money out from your HSA, but it will be taxed as earned income. Even past 65, you can still withdraw tax-free if you're using them for medical expenses. If you want to know the secret play for HSAs, I can do another video that goes over the strategy. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that by commenting HSA. If you're self-employed or freelancing, you're going to go for a solo 401k or a SEP IRA. You can contribute a lot more than a Roth IRA, and the beauty of it is you can write off contributions. And now let's talk about how to help the kids. You can open up a custodial account for your children. That's a brokerage account that is managed by you. And when you're setting up the account, you get to pick the age in which the control of the account transfers over to them. I put 24 personally for my kids. It's going to vary by which state you're in. But everybody knows that time in the market is better than timing the market. So imagine contributing to a market fund as soon as your child was born. 18 years of market growth. If you've been rocking with the channel for a while, you see me update the kids' portfolios around their birthday. And if you're starting one of these accounts, it doesn't have to be your own child, as long as you know the personal information, like the child's social security number. You can start this for your niece, your nephew, your grandchild. The other thing to note is that when you are making trades on behalf of this custodial account, the adult who set up the account is responsible for the tax burden. So let's say you bought into a stock, it blows up, you've got $500 in profit and you want to get out of the position. You sell it. Now you have a $500 capital gain that you have to deal with when you file your taxes. Now, if you haven't checked college tuition in a minute, it's creeping up as fast as home prices. So if you want to stay ahead of the game, you want to open up a 529 plan for your child. And it doesn't even have to be for your child, actually. Same thing like a custodial account. As long as you know personal information like the social security number, you can get this started. Check out websites like savingforcollege.com. You can search based off of your own state, but you do not have to utilize your state's 529 plan. Each state has a different 529 plan for its citizens. And at the time that I was searching for a 529 plan for Anthony, I didn't like the 529 plans that Washington had to offer. So I started one with the state of New York. Washington recently started one that I did like. So I opened one up for Nolly. But then I realized there's no tax advantage for holding a Washington state 529 plan, which is not true for every state. So I'm going to be opening up a 529 plan through Charles Schwab because a lot of my accounts go through them anyway. And then I'll just transfer the other 529 plans to the Schwab one. I strongly recommend getting a 529 plan that has UGift as an option. So UGift creates a link and a QR code for people to fund your child's 529 plan. So around the time of the kid's birthday, I just do a Facebook post and I say, hey, if you guys are thinking about giving a gift to our kids, consider donating to their future college fund. And UGift makes that process a whole lot nicer. And one account a lot of people don't know about is the ABLE account. An ABLE account allows you to invest on behalf of your child if they have a qualifying disability. As a teacher, I see a lot of students with ADD and ADHD, and I checked, and having those qualifies you to open up an ABLE plan. So what does that mean? Let's say you have medical expenses relating disability. Maybe you have to hire a tutor. Maybe you have to have a wheelchair, so on and so forth. If the money is just in a regular savings account, you're getting pennies and interest. Why not let that money that you have saved up for your child blow up weight in the market, and then you can withdraw the money tax-free for expenses related to the disability. Now we're going to talk about accounts that help us live on beyond our time on Earth, which in my opinion are the most important accounts. So establishing a will help you figure out which assets go to which person. And if you leave children behind, you can establish which new guardian you want to take care of the children. But if you just have the will, our court system is going to impose who gets what via the will. And this is called probate. Probate is a long, drawn out process It puts your information out in the public, and you don't want to have your loved ones grieving and having to deal with the court system. Because understand, if they're going through probate, the court is going to apply fees. This is where the trust comes into play. Moving all your assets into a trust allows you to bypass the probate process, getting funds to your loved ones quickly and efficiently and privately. But what makes life valuable and precious is that we don't live forever. Now, you may be able to escape taxes with efficient tax planning, but life is going to be so difficult. You're not going to get out of this thing alive. So have a bounty to leave to your loved ones. Even if you don't have children, you can make the siblings or your parents beneficiaries. So when they have to do your final services, you're not creating a financial burden for them. I'm working on understanding the Rockefeller method of passing down wealth. So stay tuned for a future video on that. But if you don't know about the Rockefeller method, they're one of the only families that I know that have not diminished their wealth and in fact have grown it throughout the generations, not the decades, but the generations. Last thing to think about is when we're setting up all these investment accounts and insurance plans, some people forget to name beneficiaries, meaning the money is just sitting in the account when you pass on. You have to name a beneficiary so people know where that money should be going. So this may be the easiest step, but one that people forget to do. Wealthy people don't just earn money, they use the right tools to grow, protect, and pass it on. You do not have to be rich to start these accounts, you just need to start them. If you only have to pick two, pick the Roth IRA and then something for your kids. If you don't have kids, Roth IRA, HSA all day. And don't feel like you have to open both of them at the same time. Start with one. When you realize how easy it is, start another one. I'm going to leave links for you in videos that I've already made on how to set up a lot of these accounts. And after you get one open, treat yourself to a coffee. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the various accounts that we talked about. Let me know about an account that you did not know about. And if you are okay with sharing, let me know what accounts you already have. And feel free to brag. You should be bragging about stuff like this. Let's get people motivated in the comments to start. I know if I'm building my wealth and I see, oh, this person has this, this, and this, I gotta step my game up and start investing in more of these accounts. If you found value in the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to pay that like tax. Share this with somebody who's talking about investing, but maybe doesn't know about various accounts that they have available to them. And if you want to know a specific order in which you should be funding these accounts, stay tuned. I've got a video lined up for you that'll pop up in a few seconds. And until the next one, remember to smile because you are beautiful.
Peace.